Well, I've just ridden up the hill, up into the Andes from Nazca, which is slightly above sea level, and where I am now is 4,000 metres. So I've gone from almost 0 to 4,000 metres in about an hour and a half. And I feel a little bit spaced, tiny bit spaced, a little bit giddy. Things are happening a little bit slower, and I've just slowed down a bit. Everything's fine, but that's the effect of the altitude's having on me, to go from sort of basically 0 to 4,000 metres in an hour and a half. So I'll see how it goes from here. You wouldn't believe it, it's bloody snowing now. 4,500 metres. Temperatures plummeted, engines lost a lot more power. So I've just turned around, I'm going to put all my wet weather gear on. Very cold. The engine won't accelerate uphill anymore. It's lost a serious amount of power at this altitude. Boy, this Andes is not to be trifled with. I'm actually riding on ice slush now. It stopped snowing and it's hailing and very lightly raining. And there's probably 20 millimetres of slush on the road. Slippery as buggery. Well, thanks a bloody lot, mate. Okay, we're getting some fuel here. This is Santa Maria, not far from Santa Teresa, not far from Hydroelectrica, not far from Machu Picchu. Fueling here is pretty primitive. Just sort of have a guess at how much you want in gallons. I think US, not imperial. I'm not sure actually. And then it's poured unceremoniously into the tank. I've had a look at everything. It seems pretty clean and well used. As long as no water or sand ends up in there. Well, I'm on my way to Machu Picchu. There's a new tourist town very close by called Aguas Caliente. The standard way to get there is to catch a train from, I think is it Ollantaytambo, something like that. I'm lost for all these names. Anyway, I didn't do that. Firstly because I've been told it's extremely expensive, and secondly because I wanted to ride to this area. I can't ride all the way to Aguas Caliente. I've stopped here at a place, well, very near to a place called Hydroelectrica, which is a big hydroelectric generating plant. And I'm leaving the motorcycle here in the care of a couple of guys for a small amount, probably just for 24 hours. And I am able to catch the train on its way from Ollantaytambo to Aguas Caliente, the last little bit of the journey. So that's the plan at this point. It's pretty Rafferty's rules, I'll give you the tip. there. These two objects here are actually mirrors, and this whole room here is an area of scientific study. There's three doors representing the heavens, the world we live in, and the underworld. The snake, the puma, and the condor. There's four windows. This is where the 4-day Inca trail exits into the Machu Picchu village and comes across the mountain into the village. Okay, this is the city of Machu Picchu. It was built around about 1450 and it was deserted around about 1538. There was 9 kings, I think. The most famous one was Machu Picchu, I think that's how you say it. After being abandoned, it was discovered, if you like, by a guy called Hiram Bingham before the First World War. I think it was about 1908. This city, there was about 1,000 inhabitants. It was completely self-sufficient and was a centre for pure Inca blood people. A university, and some say it was a summer palace, but it certainly was a place of learning. There is another city, much bigger than this, about 80 miles to the north, I think. But Machu Picchu is so famous because the Spanish never discovered it. The Spanish had a massive influence, but unfortunately for the Inca people, they destroyed virtually everything that they saw, virtually everything they came across, because they were of the view that only the devil could have created such magnificence. So they destroyed the other cities, and here we are at Machu Picchu, which is basically 80% completely intact, and 20% has been rebuilt, the original stones replaced. And it really was a very sophisticated place. The only way you can get here now, in modern times, is by train, and that's how almost everyone gets here. A few people walk a relatively short distance from Hydroelectrica, and some people walk the Inca Trail, which is a 4-day job, 4-night, 3-day, and you have to have a guide to do that now. In the centre of the screen now are the remains of factories. They all had thatched roofs. The thatched roofs had to be replaced about every 7 to 8 months from grasses cut along the Inca Trail. In the factories they would make clothing and tools for quarrying the rocks, and also agricultural tools, and also weapons for self-defence. Moving down here, there is an astronomical observatory, very, very neatly laid out. The Inca people were very spiritual, and were very closely in touch with the stars. There's actually a rock that's been carved out to mimic